Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today, guys, we're jumping back down into the world of Bitcoin. We're going to be talking a little bit about what's been going on with BTC, why we've seen this pullback, what I would expect to happen next, and all that great stuff. As we get into this video, if you find it useful, informative, entertaining, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Okay. Let's get right on into this brief update on BTC. We're going to start off with what actually happened and why we saw BTC drop the way that it did, and of course, the rest of the crypto space along with it. And that has everything to do with the dollar index. Okay, so the DXY. The DXY has been on an absolute tear, right? It's been going up for quite some time. This shouldn't be unusual to anybody, right? We can kind of see it inside here, and we can see that it's doing things reasonably well, right? It's going up. Now, with this going up, it's important that we understand what this represents, okay? This represents the buying power of the dollar, okay? So when the DXY goes up here, for example, the strength of the pound sterling against the dollar or the euro against the dollar changes. It basically means that our ability to buy dollars gets, decreased, right? Likewise, when the DXY goes down, our purchasing power against the dollar increases over in sterling or euros, right? So we understand this, but we also have to understand that cryptocurrencies, for the most part, are paired up with stablecoins that are mapped, usually paired and pegged to the dollar. So the strength of the dollar going up against these assets also means that these assets go down in value in the same way that the Great British Pound would, or the euro, and so forth. Any other cryptocurrency or just currency in general. Okay, so understanding how the DXY and what it means is important. How it moves and what it means is very important. So obviously, as this continues to grow up and continue to kind of, mature and increase in value, it's important that we understand that this means that the US have some additional purchasing power. Okay, and this purchasing power at a global level means that essentially they can pay off their foreign debt and things like that at a discounted rate. And, they could do various other things if they're using their dollar against something like sterling or the yen or, let's say euro, whatever, right? So understanding that is very important. But you have to understand that the Bitcoin and altcoins and these various other assets, they are not actually valued as such in dollars, but they have this intrinsic value to them, supply and demand driven. Okay, although we always say, oh, it's X amount of dollars for this and X amount of dollars of that, we have to understand that what we're really talking about is at the current point of the DXY, then Bitcoin has a certain value. And if that DXY goes up, Bitcoin will go down. And if the DXY goes down, Bitcoin will go up in value. Okay, these are how these assets work. Understand that it's not anything more than that. There isn't necessarily bad news, good news, fundamentals that are great, fundamentals that are bad. Essentially, what we're talking about here in this particular moment is that the fact that the dollar index went up. And because the dollar index went up, Bitcoin went down. Now, you can see here we have been pushing up to these new levels, and I don't think we're done anytime soon either. Let me pull this up into our daily, and here you can see I've mapped this out into a 5-wave structure, okay, and I still think this has got some way to go. So we've got to pull down into a wave 4 at some point. I don't know when this is going to happen, but it's going to happen at some point, and then we're going to go up again afterwards, okay? So do expect there to be some pretty severe volatility, right? It was seen pretty much from December 2020. This has been on an absolute tear. There are a couple of blips in here, right? And we had the June low, for example, in 2021. Okay, we can see that there. Okay, and after that we kind of move on up, and basically we go into 2022. Everything is rising up nicely. There's a few dips in places. Obviously, we have the June 2022 low, and then and basically a run from up there as well. So we can see the volatility and how things are matching out. We can obviously see the price of Bitcoin was going up, okay, during this moment in time when the DXY was going down. Now, of course, we've got the opposite going on. Okay, so understand how those things work. They're very important. But let's go ahead and jump on into Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at the chart here, okay, because it is important what is going on. Now, obviously, we've been talking about new lower lows and all that stuff, so this isn't an unusual thing on the channel. However, I do think there's more room to the upside before we can continue down. And again, that DXY has to have that fourth wave at some point, and I do think we're going to see Bitcoin and other altcoins go up in value before they go down. Okay, so I don't think this is necessarily going to happen overnight though, so timing it's going to be incredibly difficult, which is why we often say dollar cost averaging is the best strategy. Okay, let's go ahead and throw a few things on here. Let's actually jump down into our hourly chart. Okay, we're going to talk about what we spoke about actually this morning, right? We're talking about a 5-wave structure. So let me just go ahead and remove this off here for a second. We were looking at this structure in here and saying, okay, well, this looks like a 5-wave move. 5-wave being right in here, 1, 2, 3. We were looking for 4 to go up in 5. Right? And obviously invalidation is set down here. Wave 4 is not allowed to cross wave 1. Therefore, you have the invalidations. You don't have to worry about it. It's no longer a thing. Okay, we're also tracking it potentially from this side as a slightly longer pay. And again, that 4th wave crossing isn't allowed to happen. So we know that's invalidated. What does this mean? Well, it means that we have a very simple structure here. Okay, very simple as in it's 1, 2, 3. It's an A, B, and C. Okay, there isn't anything more there. There's nothing kind of complicated about it. It's 3 waves in itself. Very, very simple. Okay, now, of course, we can be thinking about, this low point down here. We've mapped that up as well as a 3-wave structure from the top here. Okay, so we have 3 coming down. We've got 3 going up. Well, we're going to have 3 going down at least. It could be 5 going down, but it probably will be 3. We'll see how it goes. And if we were to think about this structure being a larger 3-wave move, then this all would be an A wave, this would be our B wave, and then we'd move down into our C wave, right? So where would that take us? Well, that would take us a little bit lower. That would take us actually quite a bit lower. And we spoke about this briefly this morning, so it won't be unusual to many who join us on the live streams. But basically here, we're talking about coming down towards that $16,000 level. Okay, I'm just going to repurpose this one. I'm just going to move this over to here. And I'm going to adjust this line just so it sits on there as well. $16,216. Okay, that is where we kind of place that. I'll grab this price label and just move this around because we are looking for 216. See if I can eyeball it. Probably not going to let me. No, it's not going to let me. Okay, that's fine. So basically, $16,216.06 would be approximately the area to focus in on. Okay, that being an area of the next kind of structural move. That there would be a new lower low. But it would be the best case scenario for us, okay? So this would be basically looking to complete this kind of 3-wave drop. Now, I say best case scenario because of everything else that we speak about on these streams, everything from what the whales are doing all the way through to, in the sense of $14,600 being a trigger point on our weekly chart, right? So if I come over to the weekly chart, bring this down, pull it across, we can see down here, if we were to hit this $14,600 level, then that's obviously going to be a really, really bearish signal that's going to potentially have real big implications for future price, taking us down lower than $10,000, right? So we know that these structures are very important that we keep an eye on them, okay? So obviously we don't want 14,600 because again, 5 waves do not appear on their own normally, okay? So if we had 5 waves down like this and we were to see lower than $10,000, then the next move up would be 3 waves. We can't have 5 and 5, okay? Then of course after that would be another 5 waves down, and this would basically be a super long bear market kind of scenario. Although, to be fair, this would be a bullish time for many altcoins that are not following this structure, okay? There are many that are following this kind of structure, but some are not, okay? And there would be a mini alt season or something in that effect right in here. So it wouldn't be completely bearish. Bitcoin would go up, but just wouldn't go up to a new all-time high. Then, of course, we have this move to the downside, similar to this one here. Okay, so understand that there are things that are potentially on the horizon here. And basically, if we can avoid $14,600, that's going to be fantastic, right? Because it means we don't have that scenario. This is not 5 waves down. It's just 3 waves down, and we can crack on with life with Bitcoin and the other altcoins going up, right, in value. But we can't forget, what is underpinning this right now is this structure. The higher that the DXY goes, the lower that Bitcoin and the altcoins are going to go in the crypto space. I'm expecting at least one move down where we see some kind of relief rally in crypto, and then another surge upwards, which will then basically bring us down again into lows. This could be, and I'll kind of speculate this to a point, this could be our $14,600 level, triggering our impulsive structure to the downside. Okay, this could be our relief bounce from that level, and then this over here could be our sub $10,000 level in Bitcoin. Okay, so things in the DXY are mapping out into the same scenario, just in reverse for things like Ethereum and things like Bitcoin. So we should be fully aware of what's potentially on the horizon. We aren't there yet, but we do see all the warning signs, and this is one of the things that we talk about on our streams in the morning. So well worth keeping yourself up to date. If you're not joining us on those live streams, we talk about all the different wallets, the ways that they're behaving, all of that fantastic stuff. And we jump into things like the liquidity. We talk about, shorts and longs and liquidations, all of that stuff. So do join us if you haven't done so already. And, I'm going to leave this video right there, just a brief update as to what is going on, why we're seeing this reaction in the space. And it's pretty much DXY driven. There's many different reasons as to why that is moving in the way that it is as well. Just look at the Fed and what's going on that side. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. If you found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and tap the bell. Selecting all the notifications will, of course, keep you up to date with the live streams and the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't joined us in Discord, link is in the description below, guys. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.